The command center of the Zephyr Coalition flagship hummed with anticipation as Ambassador Kanat adjusted his translator implant. Around him, representatives from 47 species watched the holographic display with barely concealed contempt. They had come to witness humanity's surrender. Bella stood alone, in the ruins of Geneva's communication tower, her hand steady on the broadcast controls despite the plasma burns scarring her arms. Above her, the sky blazed with the fires of orbital bombardment. She had 12 minutes before the Coalition's next strike wave arrived. "This is Bella Chen, speaking for Earth." Her voice crackled across every Coalition frequency. "You wanted war. You got it." Kanat leaned forward, his quadruple eyes narrowing. Something in her tone made his scales prickle with unease. The Coalition had spent 6 months reducing Earth's defenses to ash. Humanity should be begging for mercy. "For 300 cycles we asked for peace," Bella continued. "We offered trade, friendship, technology. You called us weak because we chose diplomacy over dominance." The hologram flickered, showing images of human emissaries being turned away, their ships destroyed, their colonies bombarded without warning. Kanat felt the first stirring of doubt. The Council had assured them humanity posed no threat. "You studied our history and laughed at our divisions," Bella said. "You saw our wars and thought us primitive. But you never understood what those wars taught us." She pulled up a data stream that made Kanat's blood freeze. Fleet positions, supply lines, command codes, information that should have been impossible to obtain. While you burned our cities, we were inside your networks. While you celebrated your victories, we learned everything. Bella's smile was cold as the void. "You wanted to see what humans do when pushed to extinction? Now brace yourself for what follows." The display shifted. Across Coalition space, human sleeper agents activated simultaneously. Station after station went dark. Fleet admirals found their command protocols overridden. The carefully orchestrated invasion suddenly descended into chaos. Kanat watched in horror as his own fleet's weapons systems turned against each other. Impossible. The Coalition's security was impenetrable. But humanity had done something no species had ever attempted. They had sacrificed themselves as living infiltrators, spending years embedded in Coalition society, waiting for this moment. "You thought our fragmented nature was weakness," Bella said, "but it taught us to think like dozens of different species. To blend in, to be patient. Every human you enslaved, every prisoner you took, was a weapon waiting to activate." The command center erupted in panic. Reports flooded in from across Coalition territory. Human prisoners weren't cowering, they were sabotaging. Human slaves weren't weeping, they were fighting. Every captured human had become a time bomb, counting down to this moment. "We learned something from 5,000 years of war among ourselves," Bella continued, her voice cutting through the chaos. "We learned how to lose everything and still keep fighting. We learned that when you have nothing left to lose, you become terrifying." Kanat's communicator buzzed with desperate messages. The Coalition's vast empire, built over millennia, was collapsing in hours. Humans didn't fight like other species. They didn't retreat when outmatched. They adapted. They endured. They turned every loss into a lesson. "You wanted to exterminate us because we were different," Bella said. "Because we questioned your authority. Because we refused to bow." Her eyes blazed with determination. "But we're not different because we're weak. We're different because we survived everything our own planet threw at us. Ice ages, pandemics, extinction events. We survived each other." The hologram showed human resistance cells emerging from hiding across 100 worlds. They had been preparing for this day since the first Coalition attack. While the Coalition celebrated their military superiority, humanity had been playing a longer game. "This is your last chance," Bella said. "Withdraw from human space. Release our people. Never return." She paused, letting the weight of her words settle. "Or learn what happens when you fight a species that invented the concept of mutually assured destruction and decided it was an acceptable strategy." Kanat knew what he saw in her eyes. Not hatred, not rage, something worse, absolute conviction. Humanity would burn the galaxy to ash before they allowed themselves to be wiped out. The Coalition Council chamber descended into argument. Some demanded immediate retaliation. Others counseled retreat. But Kanat understood the truth. They had poked a predator that didn't know how to quit. A species that had clawed its way to the top of its food chain through sheer, bloody-minded persistence. "The broadcast is ending," Bella said. In 60 seconds, you'll lose contact with 300 of your command stations. In 10 minutes, your logistics network will collapse. In 1 hour, your fleet will be crippled. She smiled grimly. And that's just the beginning. Because humans don't just fight. We hold grudges for generations. The transmission cut out. Silence filled the command center. Kanat made his decision. He opened a channel to the Coalition flagship. Order full withdrawal from human space immediately. Ambassador, that's surrender, I know, Kanat interrupted. That's survival. We didn't conquer Earth. We awakened something we can't contain. As Coalition forces began their retreat, Bella collapsed against the console, exhausted but alive. Around her, resistance fighters emerged from the rubble. The war wasn't over, but humanity had proven what they were capable of. They had shown the galaxy that humans didn't need to be the strongest. They just needed to be too stubborn to quit.